Hello. Uh, this is going to be a new channel where I just give my thoughts and opinions on anything that's been happening. And today isn't really about anything that's been happening per se, but it's about something of importance to me. And with this channel, I want to have pretty much complete transparency. So if you don't like my opinions, you don't have to be here. And if you want to criticize them, I'm 14. I'm open. I'm open to other ideas. Of course, be respectful, please. That's all I ask for. Even if I may seem as however radical you may believe, but um, you know, I promise you I'm not radical, but I'm just saying that I've been mistaken before, so um, I've been mistaken for radical is what I should say, but um, I want to talk about the importance of prayer. So if you're not a Christian, you may not like this, but it's really not. You don't really have to be a Christian, as it could go for Jewish, Muslim, maybe even atheist. If you just have a general gratitude for everything you have, even if you're atheist, there's still someone to be grateful for. This water's like some company made this. Somebody's working there. I don't. It's kind of hard to take it down to that individual level to thank one person for this. It's water. I'm thankful I have it. So people don't. Holy shit! Well, she just slammed her door. Huh. But what I want to talk about is basically the importance of prayer, and I'm going to refer to the story of Daniel in the Lion's Den, which you may be familiar with, but if you're not, you'll become familiar with it. Also, I may talk about just different Bible stories and what I learned from them. This is a really one of those Bible stories you learn as a kid, but it's got a deeper meaning, I think, that they don't teach kids. But anyway, so the main thing, people pray to God and ask for help, and that's great. You should do that. You should also ask Him to help other people. But people also pray to God and thank Him. They give Him, thank Him for what they've done for Him. Okay. And people oftentimes fall in this trap of thinking that because they're doing really bad, it's somehow the fault of God for that. And also they think that because they're doing really good, you may be successful at the moment, and you're like, well, I don't need God for that. That was all me. Maybe it probably was mostly you. I think God can help you along, and His teachings can guide you to be a good moral person, but He's not like pushing all the buttons for you. You do that yourself. We have free will. It's just important to show gratitude for the opportunities He's given you. And you get those opportunities from Him from, let's say, for example, I read the Bible and I try to be a good person because of it. The moral lessons and the duties of being a Christian. I strive my best to do that. Of course, I fail every now and then, but it's just part of life. But the story about Daniel in the Lion's Den. So, when I apologize, I'm really awful with names, especially historical names, and really long names that are like from a different culture. But basically, it goes. The council tells the king to ban praying to any other god besides. Well, you can't pray to any other god, polytheistic, monotheistic, whatever. And Daniel, they called it Daniel's God. For that, because that's a god Daniel worshipped, and the two other kings had miracles happen to them that made them believe in Daniel's God, and this one hadn't yet, and he does. So, and that's basically the miracle that happened with Daniel. And so, at this time, Daniel was the only one with a monotheistic religion. Judaism is the first and oldest monotheistic religion there is. But he even after he makes this law, the point of the law was to get Daniel in trouble because the other council members didn't like him. It was two others, and he still prays every day. The law was enacted for 30 days. He still prays 3 times a day. Yeah, 3 times a day. That's how Jews pray. They pray 3 times a day towards Jerusalem, and that's what he did, 3 times a day. And someone's playing Bohemian Rhapsody. Sorry, but he prays 3 times a day to Jerusalem. Same thing, even though it's illegal, and that's important detail. We'll get back to that. And of course, he gets in trouble and gets thrown in the lion's den. And then when he's thrown in the lion's den, he prays to God and asks him to save him, and God does. And this story is completely metaphorical. You know, I don't take the Bible, all the stories, completely seriously. Of course, I take the story of Jesus seriously because I'm a Christian. But stories like that, there's a lesson to be learned. You know, it's not supposed to be taken as historical fact. I think it's a little bit, I don't want to say ignorant, because it's just not accurate to believe that. So, the lesson that is to be taken from that is, even if you're under risk of prosecution, or not even that, even if it's not popular, you know, being religious isn't very popular now, especially in, you know, high school. I'm in high school and it's not very popular either there. And even if it's not the social norm, or even if it's illegal, you should pray to God every day, even then. And that's risking your life, bro. That's like taking it seriously. And if you are faithful in even the most dangerous of times, when you actually need help, God will help you. That's basically the lesson to be taken from it. Even though Daniel, it was illegal for him to worship, he did it anyway. And then when he actually needed God to save him, he did. If you don't know, the lions, you know, they'd been starved basically. They were really hungry, and he prayed to God to save them, and God shut the mouths of the lions. I think I've heard it that he sewed them shut. I don't know about that, but he closed them. They couldn't eat them. And after that, a lot of people don't realize this, or maybe they just don't tell it. I wasn't told this when I was a kid. They didn't put in the gruesome parts, but when he got out, you know, after 3 days of being in there, the king said, "Daniel, are you okay?" Daniel walked out, right? And that was a miracle that made that king believe in Daniel's God. You know, at the time, God wasn't a respected thing. You know, even though the story is historically inaccurate at that time, Judaism was just beginning. Supposedly, yeah, but whoa, dude, holy moly, sound just spiked there. I hope that didn't give you too bad of a time for your ears, but what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, and the council members got thrown in there then, and they got eaten. That's a really good message to learn from that. That even if you're doing good, pray to God and be thankful, and maybe then you don't have to focus on yourself in your prayer. You can focus on someone else. And when you're doing bad, if you were praying that entire time while you were doing good, God will show mercy and help you, you know. Of course, you're entitled to your own opinion, you know. That's a very iffy subject, and it's very controversial, and I understand that, but I think that's a good lesson for all of us to learn. It's be a little more grateful for what you have, and basically humble yourself is, I guess, if you're not too religious, that's the lesson you can learn from this. That's all I have to say. Thank you.